Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Happy Friday! It's Friday, but every day is a good day here when you are working from home, working remotely, working on your own business. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. There's no Sunday scaries. There's none of that Monday dread. There's not like that Friday, oh my gosh, it's Friday. When you get to that space, it's a beautiful place. So I love it. But happy Friday, everyone. For those that are new here, my name is Joanne. I am the Director of Marketing and Live Training here with Legendary Marketer. And we have a guest. It's his first time here. He's joining us from Europe. And he's going to share his story, share all the goods with all of us. But before I bring him on, let's do a few housekeeping items. As always, if you would like to get a notification of when we go live, all you need to do is head over to legendarymarketer.com/WUL. It'll pop you right into a broadcast room right here on Facebook, and you'll be able to join it, and then you'll get a notification once 5 days a week in the morning, about a minute or two, right into our live stream with a direct link to join us live. And of course, if you are interested in any of our products, our $5 Learn Launch Lead Challenge, a blueprint, join us at Mastermind, which Tobias is coming to Mastermind. So I'm sure we'll talk about that as well. You can get a ticket right there at legendarymarketer.com/enroll. All right, and let's see who we have. Good morning, Bonnie. Oh, Sandy, Demetra, I love it. Good morning, everyone. Please join me. Good morning, Melissa, in welcoming Tobias to the show. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon for you.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is global, right? Hi, Joanne. How are you doing?
I am doing well. It's nice and 7 a.m., bright and early for me. A little different time for you where you're located.
A little bit different.
So share with everyone where you're joining us from right now.
I'm joining you from Sweden, Stockholm, in Europe.
That's where I need to go there. I need to go. It's part of my lineage. I need to go check it out. I love it. Very cool. Well, this is your first time on, and share with us how you landed in the online space. What were you doing? And I believe long ago we tried it out.
Oh yeah. So
I'm gonna online sales with some DVD mail, right?
Oh yeah. So we will go way back. I'm middle-aged, 42 now, so it almost feel like ancient times. But we're gonna start where we start, and I try to be succinct because at the root of this, I was in my early 20s, 20, 21, 22, somewhere. I read 2 books, and you might guess which one they were, but it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and like my mind just went about, this is, why don't they teach us about money in school, right? So I remember being quite upset, but I'm like, okay, so there's something else other than just going to work. And that's kind of where the perspective of something else started. But then, I'm a teen, so, it wasn't that important, and you work, and get some money, and you do teen stuff, like party and stuff like that. So fast forward a couple of years when I really got into it, and like you said, I started my first online thing. And I was very much, this was about 10 years ago or something like that. So late 20s, early 30s somewhere. And I was very much into fitness, and I decided I was so passionate about it. And I knew there's something else like entrepreneurship, and there's online, and I understand tech because, I grew up around the computer. So I want to do something online. So I started off by kind of observing what people were doing in this space, and I tried to imitate them. But put my niche on it, because my niche was in-home workouts and just working at home, because that was what worked in my life. And it was just, I needed to lose weight, get in shape because I was overweight. And I just said, you know what works for me? Work, get home, and then I just work out. And that became my routine. I saw great results, got a 6-pack, looked great, felt fantastic, and cool, I want to do this. So I pursued that. I self-produced the in-home workout DVD, set up a community website, did all this tech stuff because it was fun.
Right.
Did blogging, saw some traction on Google, had a couple of pages, top Google results. They did then I think they called it the Panda update, and overnight like that, all my SEO just went down the drain and I had nothing. And I also realized that I've been focusing on the back end so much that, that's all nice, but if you don't do marketing and get the traffic, nothing is going to happen. And life happens, and eventually I decided that, I just got to have to pull the plug on it. And I also came to the point where I realized I don't want to be that health persona, right?
Okay, so that's important. If you don't want to be the health person, you better not be in that niche, right?
Yeah, but the cool part was I figured that out as I was doing it. I didn't know that beforehand, so I tried, right? And I learned, and it wasn't for me. So, okay, I shut it down, and then life happens. So now we're fast forwarding again. There's been a few like this and that and that and this, and try that. Didn't work that. So a little bit serial entrepreneurial meets people pleaser meet master procrastinator, right? So all of the, I mean, if we were to play procrastination bingo here, I would probably score most of them off. I can do it tomorrow. I'm a little bit sick.
I think a lot of us, yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to procrastination bingo. There's a lot of it's kind of natural. I think fear, worry, right, brings in the procrastination.
Yeah, and then it was like a few highlights. Try different things. I've been knowing throughout this time. I known about affiliate marketing and so on. And then I believe it's 5 years now. I don't know. Time just flies, right? The older you get, the faster it goes. And I went to another program. I was deep into that, but it came to a point where when I understood like how they market, how you make money with them. So there was two things that stood out to me. One was they were only like, promote our product, right? So I'm like, wait. And then how they did that, because I used to work as a salesperson back in the day, so they hit all of the fear of loss and all this other salesy stuff. And I realized that if I'm going to go out and actually try and sell this program, in order to give that person the maximum chance, I would basically need to market their like high-end, most, get jazz. And I just couldn't look myself in the face and do that, because it was this ingenuine, and it kind of just, I just know I can't get behind this way of operating. And in a sense, it kind of, I wouldn't say it crushed me, but it was more like put that like huge, I got burned mentally on it, right? So then we fell asleep a little bit longer, let's say, go back to normal, fast forward a year, and then all of a sudden on YouTube, I see these videos all over the place about which I realized, okay, so this affiliate marketing, online stuff. I mean, after a while, you can kind of smell it and see it, right? And I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to watch that. And it was really like, if you look at the definition of like how many times someone needs to see a marketing message before they act on it, they will probably see me, because it was like, I don't know, the 30th or 60th or 111th ad I saw, which I'm fine, okay, because inside of me, I still have this dream going, like, I want to make this work, dang it, right? So I clicked the link, and I thought after the fact, like, what made me like click the ad and see what was underneath, which of course is legendary. There was something in there that just struck as genuine, authentic, and not so much, let's say, perhaps not the right words, but because English is my second language, but it was more like the average, if you will, the normal person coming, like that perspective, doability, right? And I came in, and then it was the 15-day challenge. And I said, oh, I got like $5 or whatever, retail for 15 or whatever. I'll buy it. I'll see what this is. I'm curious. This could be it, right? And as I go through it all, I'm just totally blown away by just the amount of stuff that you guys have put in there. It's like being around the internet, knowing around this. I'm like, whoa, okay. And then just seeing Dave, the authenticity, and I'm like, I'm going to see where this goes. I get a good feeling. And long story short, that's a little bit about why I'm here today.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And, it's, I maybe there's a lot to unpack in what you just shared. One, you still had a fire inside of you that, there's something out there there's more for you.
Yeah.
You have a desire for more. You're hungry to learn. You're hungry to be challenged. So you just didn't allow your life to be like, okay, nope, never doing it again, never trying again, never going to go put myself out there, not going to keep learning, not going to keep, making tweaks and adjustments. And sure, there were pauses, but you still came back to that ultimate desire of, I want something for myself.
Yeah,
But
and
I
it's
need to
it's
figure this out. I need to figure this out. And you can't do it alone. You can't do it
no.
with no education, right? Even your first venture with
Mm.
fitness, you realize, crap, I need marketing.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's funny. It's one of those things that gets overlooked, but every single business, 100%, every single business needs marketing. And the
yep,
core of marketing, the core of digital marketing is all the same.
exactly. It doesn't matter if you have the perfect product and no one sees it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just come back to what you said about this keeping the dream alive and wanting more. The opposite of that, or like for me, it's like this, and I've known this for middle 20s hour. That I have this. There's something inside of me just like longing to just get unleashed into the world. Being, of good, of growth, empowerment. It's like it's like so that's what kept me going, kept me alive, and I'm pretty sure we are more like that in the world. And even just people just like, I need to catch a break from the work. Like, there's got to be more to this than just going to work and doing the 9 to 5 or whatever. And if you love that, that's fine, perfect. But for
Right.
me, it's like I'm hungry. I want more out of life than that.
Yeah, exactly. And we kind of put down the 9 to 5, but we're not putting it down. We're really just saying it's okay to say I'm not happy here if that's
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
And it's
and
okay to
especially
say, let me look for something else. So I don't
exactly.
feel like this is it. This is all I'm doing this is my one life and this is what I'm doing with it. If that's how you feel, we got options for you.
Yeah,
Right?
and
And that's
even so, if you love your job and that's it, I mean, I applaud you. Like I
yeah.
like my job too. I'm an IT professional. I like it. It's good. It's comfy. But the world we live in today, with all the inflation rates and going and things like that,
Mhm.
for me, what I reflected on, because I'm kind of in a position where I'm hitting my income ceiling, and it's kind of the law of diminishing returns, where the more I push to kind of grow and expand into the corporate and so on and so forth, just get eaten up in taxes and then inflation and all of it. I realized something, Joanne, that it's not about the job so much anymore. It's deeper.
Yeah.
It's leverage. It's the leverage for the time that you put in, which kind of isn't good enough. So what I'm actually looking for now, which I'm doing here, is better leverage for the time spent. So for me, it's like, forget about this passive income dream or whatever. Active leverage effort is what I'm after. And we can
Yeah.
get that via the technologies that we use.
Oh, I love that. It is all about leverage. And you are in, I want to say the gaming niche. Is that correct? Streaming?
Streaming, yes. Gaming is a sub niche of that, and streaming is just
Okay.
another way of saying going live or live broadcasts, so to
Okay.
speak.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's because my background and it's also a funny side story of how I ended up here in this niche. We
Mhm.
can unpack that a little bit later, but my background is I've been a gamer all my life.
Mhm.
Been in kind of IT and computers all my life, and when I look at this, and it was actually one of the pre-made business plan I ended up with that you guys have as part of your blueprints program, where it was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, gaming, something streaming. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. Because another thing I was stuck on, because I think I joined up Legendary here and took the blueprints like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that, and then of course the combination of master procrastination. And since I'm a gamer, technically, which fills up a lot of my free time, I also realized that, I have oceans of free time, let's say, and there's always tomorrow.
Right. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of that, even in our blueprints group, there's more and more posts like, okay, so I bought the education and I haven't gone through it in months. I haven't started in months. I've sat on it, but I'm ready to get going. That's a common theme
Yeah.
of you're like, all right, I got it. I'm going to get to it. I'm
Yeah,
getting ready to get ready, right? So
exactly. And
you
for
got
me,
the blueprints a couple years ago?
yeah, something like that. I don't remember
Okay.
the exact date isn't important, but the thing is,
And
I went
really
through
the
the yeah,
action started though, our action taking, our consistent action taking started 3 months ago,
yeah,
correct?
roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it was because we're coming back to the root core of the change that happened with me. So as I went through the blueprints, but
Mhm.
to actually start and putting things in motion, I got stuck in this. Since I saw I knew the tech, and I kind of like, I understand the technology, I know what I need to do, I have a dream I want to go after. Why don't I do it? Because there's this and there's that, and then it's research paralysis, and what about this and what about that, and then other stuff in life like this, that, and that, and everything under the sun happens, and I'm getting nowhere. So fast forward until like 3 months ago, roughly,
Mhm.
because 2024, I actually took stuff out of my life. I'm not going to do it, just, hobbies or whatever. I'm going to focus. 2024 is going to be my year. It's going to be business year. This is going to be it.
Mhm.
That sounds great. It was a plan. I was super serious about it. And then I wake up 3 months ago and I'm like, oh crap.
We're
Something has
halfway
to give
through.
there. Yeah,
We're
exactly.
halfway
I was
through
just,
and
I
nothing's
wake up.
happened yet.
I wake up tomorrow. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Because I saw, I just realized half the year is almost gone.
Mhm.
If I'm serious about it, something has to change. And right about then, or yeah, I think it was the day after I realized this, I got an email in my inbox talking about your accountability program. And I'm like, okay, I'll bite.
Mm.
So it was one
Yeah,
of those
that
things
was
where
great timing.
great
Great timing.
timing. And it's one of those things where like, oh, is life lining up stuff now? Okay, cool. Let's see what this is. I had some money saved up and I realized that, you know what? Going after it alone, technically possible, sure.
Yeah.
But why would you want to? Is
Mhm.
my question. And for me, I realized that, you know what? I've been trying to do this for myself and really just gotten nowhere because of me. What about, and it's also the saying, like, you're the average sum total, from the 5 people you most hang with, or like there's some saying like that. And I realized that if I want to go there, if I want to go there and actually get there and do this, I need to be around other people who has done it before me,
Yeah.
that can help kind of pull me up and like fix my mindset, or like point, like try this, or like tweak that. So it was the easiest decision I ever made to do that upgrade.
Well, and you actually saw, all right, I'm not great at holding myself accountable. But you've tried. You even said 2024 is going to be the year I
Oh yeah,
take action. And 6 months in, you realize, well, crap.
yeah, and
Maybe I can do more. Maybe I can do more.
yeah, and it comes back to this, like, why? I mean, I saw. I mean, I seen Wake Up Legendary things, and it's like when I look at there, and it's just normal people. Like, it's doable. I can do this. All right. And then I get like, but why can't I just do it? Like, what was the blocker? And being a part of the accountability journey, I've had some setbacks and stuff like that. But I came face to
Mhm.
face with actually understanding why.
Mm,
And
yeah.
it's and I know you talk about all the time and on Wake Up Legendary and other things, that it's about mindset. But what the heck? Here we go with the mindset again, right? What does it
I
actually
know.
mean? And I can only give you my example of what it was for me, right? So I was
Mhm.
getting increasingly frustrated over time being a part of it, because it's like this and that, and there's everything under the sun happening, and I'm just getting frustrated because I really want to focus on this. And it
Right.
came to a key moment when I realized, when I said, so why am I frustrated? Why can't this box inside here? Because I kind of identified that it's in here. The problem is in here, 100%. If I can't fix this, nothing else. Like, I have to fix this. And I came face to face, or as close as looking yourself in the face, right? Who you are as a person. And I started to observe, why don't I spend the commitment? Why am I getting frustrated? What am I getting frustrated about? And it
Mhm.
was, and I'll jump to the conclusion here a little bit. And it was every time being who I am. It's like I help out. I'm a good guy. It's family this, family that. So it's every time, and this was what I started observing. Every time I said yes to go and do something for someone else, which is great, right? I'm saying no to myself and my business and my dreams. Whenever I said yes to go to this 50 years party, I'm saying yes to that at the expense and no to myself, my business, and my goals. And I did that over a week or two, and I kind of came to this what's the word, like equilibrium, or like a conclusion where I really come face to face with in that moment, I like who I am up until that point, but so I took inventory stock of who am I, what's valuable to me, and I projected forward in the direction which I want to go. And I realized that the person who I am in that moment will not get me there. And then I realized, what if I go completely against what is, let's say, being the good person, right? What if this is meant to be my dark time, if you will, where I am bad and I say no to everyone else and I say yes to me, myself, my dreams, and my goal, so I can make this happen. And in a sense, stop people pleasing others, helping others, because every time I did that, I was displeasing myself, my dreams, my goals, my future.
Yeah.
So that was the key defining moment for me in like making that switch. And after that, I mean, it was still some struggle where it's like energy and things like that. And I know my accountability coach, Bonnie, she's great. She is like, oh, thank you, Bonnie, for everything.
She's an amazing human, hands down.
And it was like, she was just like, okay, so when do you think you can have these videos done and so much? And I was like, yeah, because I was going through like a low, really like life happened stuff. And I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, maybe I can do a video a week. And then I'm just like, something also clicked in me based because now I could see the old me and it's not serving me and what I need to grow into. And I'm like, kind of had to pull myself in the air like a little boy, right? And go like, no, I will do this. I may not get all the way, but I got to focus. And no, I'm going to commit to doing a video a day. Maybe I will fall flat. I don't know, but I got to commit to that. I'm going to go for that because I need to grow in that can-do direction. Being consistent, being on top of my game, showing up for myself, my goals, my dreams, my future. And this now becomes me-centric, of course, but what I really want to achieve, why I'm into the streaming niche, is I really want to have other people like me, which have this like inner, I have a message I want to get out to the world. That's the person I want to empower to actually be able to do that, because the threshold of being able to do that today with the technology and software and all we have, and don't freak out by the word technology, it's lower than ever before to get started. And that's what I want to achieve.
I love it. I love it. And I think a lot of people relate to what you just said in a variety of ways. Those that are moms with young kids, they have mama guilt, where they think they have to do everything for everybody else first and they can't put themselves first. And you've got to put yourself first. It's actually not a bad thing. And I know you're like, I'm going to come out as my evil me, and it's almost, we got to get to a place where it's like, no, I'm actually doing the best thing for everyone around me when I can prioritize myself first.
Yeah.
Because you can't help other people. You can't serve your family. You can't serve your kids. You can't serve the audience you're trying to reach unless you serve yourself first.
Well put, Joanne. Well put.
You just can't. And it's this weird place where we do people please. And some of us use it as a way to not do the hard things too. Not all, but there is that mix that's in there that's like, oh, well, I had this happened and this person needed me. So I didn't post yesterday because Susie called me and wanted to talk to me about her problems. or I had a water leak, and then I had a neighbor that had this, and then I got invited to dinner there. And all of a sudden it's now 3 weeks later and you've posted one video. And you go,
Yep.
oh, I was just so busy. No, you weren't busy. You were busy saying I'm not worthy.
You were busy saying yes to everyone else but yourself.
Exactly.
Check. Been there, done that. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, Holly. Just like in an airplane, you got to put your oxygen on you first.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And it's and perhaps a little bit romantical viewpoint, but if the message I put out or that we put out is that everyone else matters more than me and my dreams and my goals and my future, that creates ripples and everyone thinks the same. But if we flip the script and do it, my goals matter, my future matter, I want to grow, expand, see the increase, improve my life, and that becomes the ripple effect. And everyone started doing that. I wonder where society would be. Perhaps a romantic or philosophical view, right?
Right.
But it's food for thought.
Yeah, definitely. And there is, it feels selfish at first when you start to put it into action. It feels hard. It feels like you're being mean. It feels like you're doing something bad. But really, you're leveling up yourself so you can serve people more.
100%. 100% agree on that. And it's, I lived it just recently. Like you said, it's was the most non-Tobias way to think, was to just, no, I'm just going to embrace that. I'm going to do me now. And I don't care what anyone else thinks. They can be scream or whatever. Fine. It's 42. Okay, so call it 20 years. I've been wanting to do this. It's my time now.
Yeah.
If that can't be okay, then that's on you, not on me. I'm going for this now.
Right? And it's like, why is it not okay for you? Like for someone else, if they question you, if that's putting you down for what you're working on. That's just them saying, I don't want you to do anything for yourself. I want you to keep your focus on me. You're going to find that there are friends that were leeches, that were used to, got comfortable, expect you to always just say yes to whatever they need. And then when you think about it, you realize those same people weren't doing that in return for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were just taking. And it's okay to start saying, I have a new boundary. And I'll give you this when I can. It may not be no forever, but it's no for right now, because for the next 2 hours, every day is my focus on me and my future and what I'm going after and my dreams, and not your dreams, your focus, your complaints, your whining. I'll deal with that later. And it's okay to have that boundary.
Absolutely.
And and that's when we start to go, okay, I'm starting to lose some friends, starting to maybe get some new ones, and you there's a lot of change that comes with that adjustment, but it's so important, just as you said. So you start to surround yourself with new people, with new mindsets, and everybody begins to level up.
Oh yeah. And even if we talked about leeches and energy thieves and so on, but even the opposite, let's say it's your best buds. I've noticed that as I am on this mental journey and growth and things, I realize that I'm on another level. Not saying it's better or worse. I mean, for me, it's better because I want to go this way, right? But we're just not on the same level anymore. And that's okay. And it also comes back to what you say that, and also what I shared earlier with the positive wave ripples, that if no one goes first and be the person to improve, there's no one that can help someone else do the same. And I firmly and strongly believe, 100% right in here, that for anyone who wants to do what you do, and that can be anything, like we all have the skills, backgrounds, experiences, right? For anyone wanting to know what you know or do what you do, but they do not know this, you are an expert. Even if you only taken one step more than they have, I would actually say you're even better expert, because you can relate back to them because you did it so recently in terminology and words that they will understand. Versus if someone is a mega expert, have lived in that, they don't even remember what it's like, or to them it's so natural that they forget terms, words, and what it's like.
And I actually have seen that in action, where someone got so far ahead and they're like, oh, I got to reach out back to the beginners, and they don't know how. And then they start to struggle with their marketing because they got too far away from their beginners. Almost their messaging got too far away from it when they needed to just stay consistent. Maybe boring for that person, but they needed to stay consistent with just helping that beginner because that's where their core audience is. And yeah, that's it. That's a huge share, huge reminder. You don't need to be in this grandeur spot to make a difference for yourself and for someone else.
Exactly. And coming back to my reflection from another, I mean, that we talked about the mental side a lot now, but it's so important, so important. And I think that sooner or later, every one of us who goes on this journey and start to see traction on it, we're going to come face to face with that. That's okay. I think it's part of it. I think everyone has it within themselves to negotiate that and grow into who they need to become and so on. Or maybe they're already there, who knows, right? But from the practical side, coming on to what I said about taking steps, I realized that because now I am consistent, I'm executing every day, set the goal to stream an hour every day, I'm hitting that. I'm doing that every day, been going on. And I realized, because at first, I was like everyone else, I'm putting my content out there and, no, it's just either on Instagram, like no views or very low views or something. And I was a little bit bummed out by that at first. But as I went through talking about streaming, because the way I tackle it is I'm no master streamer. I just get the technology. So I set up, which is in the gaming world, is called a 0 to hero journey. Normally, it's when gamers start from a new game, they know nothing, and then they stream their struggles as a beginner and how they level up, and they share that journey. So that's what I'm doing with streaming. So in a sense, it's gaming, but streaming in real life, right? And as I've been doing this and sharing, it's like I bring everyone along for the ride. Let's say, share what I do, failures, successes, what I think work, doesn't. There's like, oops, I have to go back. Like, I was wrong here. Do this instead so that we can grow, learn, and exceed together. But as I've gone through this and explained this, Jared, I started to realize that I was less and less interested with the views at the moment, because I realized I'm not at that, let's say, step yet. If you think of it as a ladder or a staircase, and you start at the bottom and you're going to have to navigate each step to get there, I realized I'm not there yet. So then I was just like, okay, so where am I? And I realized that, I actually mastered or like conquered, let's say, a step, which I didn't realize at first. And that was the consistently showing up for yourself. Because if you don't do that, whatever you do doesn't matter. I mean, you can get incredibly lucky. Maybe you just take one video and you go viral. Woohoo! But then what? I mean, my thinking is that, sure, it would be,
you got to keep going.
Exactly, right? So for me, even though I wouldn't mind going viral, of course, but I'm more interested in, what did it take? Can I break down the skill set of going viral? So I'm more interested in this gradual grind, gradual growth in the skill set, so I can get consistent, repeatable outcomes. That's my journey. And then I realized that on the step I am now, it's not so much about that's the inside content of getting the views. It's more about the mechanics. How do I do the stream? The technologies involved, titling on the videos, description, keyword, like the mechanics, the packaging, if you will, thumbnails. So that as I get into that and start to learn that, I start to judge, let's say, progression, not by the amount of views or the external results, if you will, but more, how did I grow from last week? What skills did I learn? How have I developed? And all of a sudden, I'm enjoying this ride a whole lot more, because that's my benchmark, being just a little bit better in my next activity than I was before. And at the end of each week, I actually started to doing that as part of my streaming. I'm calling it the Let's Talk Streaming. It's a type of like how-to / podcast, I don't know, something. But what I started doing is that at the end of every week, I do a week in review, to just, for the viewers, go over what did we do this past week. And I realized by happenstance that that's actually great, because I also recognize how far I've come. What have I learned? How have I grown during the past week? so that I can see and feel even better progression over
Yeah.
time. Because, and I come up with this other thing many times in my life, is when you get the sense of lack of progression, you're not getting anywhere, or so it feels. And
Mhm.
it really destroys motivation and just wanting to go. And it's very much just keep on keeping on for the sake of keeping on, keeping on, keeping on, keeping on. And I know that many times in my life, that's sometimes you got to keep on keeping on, because keeping on is a lot better than not keeping on, right? So we got to keep doing it. And this way for me to take, let's say, a weekly review, what I have done, let's say, have I been consistent? Yes, I have. Great. What did I learn during the past week? How did I
Yeah.
apply it during the past week after I learned it, right? How did I
Mhm.
grow, improved, and how have my views reacted? Like, I was like, Instagram has been flatlining, and then I got super happy because one of the videos which I thought was dead was like, oh, 108 views. What happened here? I'm thrilled. Not so
Mhm.
much about
Right.
the 108 views, because I'm like, huh, they could be thousands or whatever. For me, the
Mhm.
amount of views where I am now is not interesting at all. I want to understand what happened to where it got pushed out and more people watched it. Was it something with
Right.
the thumbnail, title, the mechanics again, right? And
Right.
as
Right.
this is my focus now, I'm starting to get into the mechanics of doing it, trying those things out. So I'm now
Mhm.
starting to tippy toe a little bit on the next step, which is the content and what am I communicating out? How am I communicating out? Which for me, I feel is the next step. So I'm
Right.
tiptoeing into that a little bit. And when I'm going to be actually on it and start to conquering that step is when I have had that natural growth progression and I'm actually doing that, because I have earned the skill set of the steps before. And it
Right.
all starts with consistently showing up for you, yourself, your dreams, and your goal. And me, myself, my dreams, and my goal.
Mhm.
Step number
And
one.
that you're it really is. It's coming back to, I'm worthy of it. I'm worthy to chase my dreams. I'm worthy to learn new things. I'm worthy to tackle challenges. I'm worthy to show up for myself every day.
Oh yeah, and it's
You know?
I also talked about it a few times, quite a lot of times. There are a couple of common themes that I tend to say in every stream, not because it's a plan, but it's just somehow we end up there. Because now
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of, let's say, because I'm a beginner, so I'm trying to talk to beginner streamers, people who want to start streaming or have started and are struggling,
Mhm.
and it's to adopt a similar mindset. Like, great, we're beginners again. We get to figure stuff out. We get to fail. We get to, when we were a kid and learn how to run a bike, right? We fell down, we cried and stuff. We get up on there and off we go, and eventually we were able to run a bike. It's the same thing here, really. We just
Mhm.
try to learn from our mistakes or whatever, and try to be just a little bit better every time. And over time, if just adopting that, not like I'm gonna like go from here to now I have the perfect stream setup or perfect studio or lighting or this and that, which is an awesome that I have. Start where you are with what you have, and then on a need, necessity, grow into next level things. Like if all you have is your phone, great, start there. If you have a
Yeah.
computer and a webcam, start there. If all you have is a computer and you're, let's say, into gaming and streaming, well, just start streaming that and do that. And then out of the necessity, take the next step, because it serves two purposes, really. One is it avoids you getting overwhelmed. It's the same thing I
Mhm.
did, because and I know from previous, when I did the in-home fitness stuff, I love the back end stuff and all this stuff. So I'm
Right.
like, no, I'm not going to start there this time. I learned this one. No, let's do it from the beginning and let's drive on needs. Because here, and I say this all the time on the stream, getting something started is more important than getting it perfect.
Ah, if I could just bang that in, if everyone could just write that on the wall, on their, put it on a post-it note on top of their phone, on their screen, make it your like, oh, that's what it is.
And the next
Is
step after that is do that consistently.
mhm.
And
It's
as
really that
yeah,
simple. Although
And
it's not easy, but it is that simple.
yeah, and that's the simplest thing. And here I don't know, something just inside my gray matter here just goes noggin. And I don't know, maybe I'm out of the limb here, but maybe some people go, yeah, but me, what about this, what about that, and this excuse and that and this and this. I know, I've been there. Procrastination, bingo, the truth. And okay, here's this. Are you, Jen, are you ready
You're
for
scared
the
to take action. You're scared to
exactly?
take the next step. So you're looking for excuses of why you can't.
Yeah,
And I need you to put your focus on why you can.
yeah. Jen, are you ready for the core secret as I see it, based on, like, if I really want to get to the core of this, like the core
Do it.
single truth? You can't be mad. Like,
I'm ready.
people might
I'm
not like
ready.
it.
I can handle
Yeah.
it. I'm holding
All
on to
right,
my
let's do
deck.
it. All right. So here's what I learned from my perspective. My single truth is, when I really got down to this, like I said, I've done it all, master procrastination, everything like that. It came down to this. Either do the thing or don't do the thing. Either way, you're making a decision. Either you're deciding not to do it or to do it. And that may sound harsh, that may sound bananas, but I'm going to dive a little bit deeper, because I was there. And that's when that decision is being made for me on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step is start to see it. For me, like I said, when I started realizing how much yes I'm saying to everyone else and no to myself. It's the same thing here. And this could actually be a universal principle for everything in life. That we operate so much, especially as we grow older, on subconscious auto programs. Let's call it that. Routines, habits. We may not even recognize when we do this. And I also firmly believe that as soon as we can start to see things, number one, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be fun, because you kind of have to look at yourself and like, I am actually making a decision not to do it, because you are. I was. But I also know that that's the first step to take, to see it, because when you see it, you can start to act on it. Mm-hmm. You can start to go, oh, no, now I caught myself. And I actually did that in the beginning as my mind shifted, that my inclination was, oh, I'm going to pick up the call, or I'm going to do this or that or that. And I was like, no, wait, woo, alarm bells. I know this one. No, I need to do this. Say yes to me. Say no to that. Okay, let's do that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So much gold. I know we need hats. Everyone's like, throw a hat. Kim's like, hats all day. She's got emojis. Jasper, I get it. He commented, I have an encyclopedia full of my own BS excuses.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. Yeah. And I don't have any hats in my reach here, but let me do, okay. You're watching this. If you think this is gold, if this is like, yep, this makes a lot of sense to me, and you have a hat, do me a huge favor. Just go up there and then just dram that sucker into the floor.
Right?
I don't got yourself on the shoulder and go like, yeah, I got this. Yeah. Because it's not about me.
Legendary hat in the car, but yes.
Exactly. It really isn't about me. It's about you and your dreams and your goals. And I'm so excited of trying to empower you to take the steps, and maybe in my story inspires you, maybe had some tools or thinking or perspective. Perspective is huge, guys. It's huge, because as that changes, we start to look at things from a different directions.
Right. We do. You view the world differently. You start to view people you interact with differently. You start to see, wow, that person's actually quite negative. That person's really down on themselves, where before you used to jump in and be negative with them and you didn't even realize it, right? Every part of you changes. You change as a coworker, you change as a spouse, you change as a parent, you change as a friend. That's where sometimes those friends, they don't match the journey you're on anymore, and you got to create those new boundaries. But it all starts with being okay of saying, I'm worthy to say yes to myself and put myself first.
100%.
It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. It's a good thing to do that. We can't just walk around going, I gotta be everybody's punching bag person they unload their crap on. No, you don't. How about you be the person that helps someone else by serving yourself first?
On that note, and also tying this back with perspective, here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down one day, undisturbed, just you and your thoughts, and think about what it would be like having succeeded at everything that you see right now that you want to become, dream, be, do, have. Just do that. And when you can start to see it, think about the person that made that happen, because that's you. That's your future you.
Mm-hmm.
What would that future you tell to who you are now that you need to do? Write that down on a piece of paper. And then every morning, lunch, and evening, read through that and do the best you can consistently to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many tips, guys. I hope you're writing this all down. He's dropping a lot of gold for everybody. I love it. I want to leave you with the final word before we go today. What is your piece of advice for someone brand new to even thinking about being an entrepreneur, thinking about doing something for themselves, just starting with the challenge, thinking about what niche they can go to, who can they serve? They're overwhelmed. Can they even do this? Are they worthy of it? What's your advice for them in that stage, that very early beginning stage?
Joanne, that's an excellent question. I would say like this. I'm going to toss anything easy, quick stuff that's just out the window. This is going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. And it's going to be tooth and nails at times. Not trying to scare you off, just accept it.
I think it's important. Yeah, it's normal. That's what to expect. Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is I 100% believe it in here that you can do it. And you are the only one holding you back. Mm-hmm. And regardless of, let's say, external results, money, views, forget about that stuff. For me, the most important that I've seen is personal growth, mindset shift, and let your skill set, how you grow, let that be an indicator of progress versus all these external things. Mm-hmm. And you can absolutely do this. And okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to do two things. Is that okay?
Of course.
Break it down. Keep it simple. Start where you are. Small steps at a time. And do your best to do that consistently, improving a little bit, step by step, step by step. Today, I'm going to be a little bit better than yesterday. And tomorrow, I will try to be a little bit better than I was today. Then if you do that, you're going to be amazed how far you get in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year in terms of growth and skill set. And you already have a whole life of backstory worth of the skill set of how you grow and skill and stuff, because that's how you end up where you are, right? Work, riding a bike, and everything. And if you can do that, I mean, you obviously can do that. You already done it. Then why wouldn't you be able to do this?
Right. Yeah. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for coming on today.
Happy to be here. It's an honor. And then thank you to all of
pleasure. You'll have to come back. As always, I want updates, all that good stuff. Of course, I'll see you in Slack because you're also in our mentorship program with Bonnie as your mentor, which you mentioned earlier. And someone said, what a week. It has been a week. I hope you've all enjoyed it. And thank you, Tobias, for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. And thank you, everyone who showed up to watch this. Thank you, guys. This is about you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks again. All right, everyone, please go check out Tobias's stuff. Let's go check out his socials. Head over. You can find him on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Streaming Zero to Hero. All connected. No dashes. No nothing in there. At Streaming Zero to Hero. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find him there. What a great way to end the week. It has been a fantastic week. It all comes back to remembering that we've got to build our self-worth in ourselves, grow our confidence, really get out there and go, I can do this and I'm worthy of it. and putting it into practice every day to get a little bit better at it, to be a little more confident, to be a little more, have a little more grit, determination, and staying consistent with putting that into practice. I really thank Tobias for coming on today and talking about all of that. And that's really at the core what it takes to be good at anything. And it's okay to put yourself first. It's actually a good thing, but we're kind of taught it's not. We're taught it's selfish. We're taught it to, when we feel like we're putting ourselves first, that it's a negative. I want to tell you that's just something you were taught. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's right. And it's okay to put yourself first. This is a rewatch. This whole week was amazing. On Monday, just to give you a heads up, we had an episode that was really good about 2.5 weeks ago. It was all about YouTube. And for whatever reason, Facebook really messed up that stream and nobody could rewatch the replay. So I'm actually going to replay that for you on Monday. And then I believe the man himself will be back on Tuesday with the awesome Bonnie that Tobias talked about today. So I'm going to give you all a little teaser. So hopefully, if all is well with the world and everything goes as planned, but life happens. That's the schedule for the beginning of next week. But as always, put some work into yourself, into your business. You're worthy of it, and have a fantastic weekend and stay legendary. Peace.